Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show, Jack Chow on the East West. For many, many years, with lots of proud. With GE TV, we really pay attention to what's happening around every corner of life. Right? Speaking of life, well, we have lots of story to tell. Sometimes our politics takes a big chunk of our time. And sometimes when politics are not that bad, we always have a moment to sit down, to relax a bit, to chew more of life, to get more out of it, to learn from it, to catch up for it. And of course, there are lots of heroes in life that we could copy. I would recommend one of the best role model that the non-profit organizations of this global earth is concerned. I recommend Rotary International, right? And speaking of Rotary International, I have one big lady. She is my icon. She is my heroess, and she is also a close friend of mine. Her son is my godson. I'm his godfather, and vice versa. She is the godmother of my son. That's how close we are. So her name is Luann Arredondo. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack.
How do you like the opening line?
That was pretty amazing.
But I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Luann Arredondo is also a commissioner for West Covina for Community and Senior Service.
Correct.
And also she's founder and CEO of LABC, LA Business Consultant Group.
Right.
And that consults lots of major issues. Sometimes when people making deals, before cutting deals, she's the one to consult. And she's the one drafting papers, not a legal paper, also legal / commercial paper, something like that. And also she is the chairwoman, or you call president, right?
Right.
President for women's group of the district.
West Covina.
Of Phoenix.
The lead faculty for University of Phoenix.
I see. All right, good. And also you teach.
Yes.
There, teach economy and social science. Very good. And a wonderful woman, and I'm very proud to be a friend of hers. So today in the show, I would say to tell my audiences for about a year, almost a year time, she's been traveling like crazy, getting ready for the, as you can see from the title, governor nominee, which means that you are nominated for the next incoming governor. You have to do your homework, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Why are you traveling so crazy for almost a year time? I can't even find you. My message never returned. My call never returned. When all of a sudden you call, hey, Jack, you called me? I said, oh, that was a half a month ago. Something like that.
So in Rotary, we pick our governors 3 years out because it takes 3 years for us to train, become familiar with the district as a whole. And during that time, we're out visiting clubs across the district to get a better understanding of each specific club's needs and how we can best support them.
One little bit, one moment. So it takes 3 years to train a governor for a service of only 1 year.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
Oh, 3 to 1.
So it's about a 5-year service. So when you're an immediate past district governor, you also serve because your role is to help mentor the governor's line.
That makes lots of sense.
So it's a 5-year term for 1 year of service.
So you are now in your first or second or the third year of the preparation.
I'm in the second year, so I will be governor in 2019-20. July 1, 2019, I will assume the role of governor.
In other words, starting 2020, you are the governor for the 5300 district.
July 1, 2019.
Oh, July 1, 2019.
And my term runs through June 30, 2020.
I see. And I also understand that the district 5300 is a big district, right? How big is that?
So we're about 90 miles north of Las Vegas into Mesquite and Moapa Valley, all the way down into Las Vegas and Boulder City, down the 15, and if we go across the 3 primary freeways, across the 210 into Pasadena, up the 14 into Rosamond, and then if you come down the 15 further, across into the 10, go across the 10 into East LA, and then if you go down to the 60, across the 60 into Monterey Park.
That's half California.
It's a huge area. It's Southern California and Southern Nevada.
No, that's half California already, right?
It's quite a big district
half
geographically.
Because I've been to Vegas for many times, more than I could count, but never been anywhere any mile further than Vegas and the Las Vegas Strip, right?
Oh, right.
For 90 miles up north, that's quite a distance.
We have
also.
we have 18 clubs in Nevada.
Oh, there's a little city called Elko. Elko that I know about. I know about Elko for their gold or something, you know.
Okay.
So now, back to the issue though.
Right.
When I tried so hard to get hold of you, and you were traveling amongst all these areas.
Correct. So traveling with Rotary, traveling with my business, and touching ground in West Covina enough to continue my role as a commissioner.
Who do you see?
The clubs. When I'm traveling with Rotary, it's visiting the clubs, going to their meetings, going to their events, meeting with individual Rotarians.
Within the territory, though, how many clubs do you have?
65 clubs.
65 clubs. In other words, for the past year something or so time, you've been visiting the 65 club members.
Correct. Correct.
All right.
So it's quite the task.
May I ask a financial question, please?
Sure.
And whose money are you traveling?
So Rotary compensates for our travels because that's quite a big cost. There are costs that come out of our pocket, but it's more of a donation. I view it as a donation because I'm looking at the bigger picture and what our role is as a governor and our job to support the clubs.
In other words, your out-of-pocket money
some
is how big a part? I was worried. I was worried about your own financial better being, right?
It varies from individual to individual. So we are able to get reimbursed for mileage, airfare, eating, hotel. It varies. If I'm going up to Lancaster, Rosamond area, that's a week stay, and a portion of it I'll expense, and a portion of it I'll just keep and pull out of my own pocket.
I see. So once you do travel, once you do meet people, club heads or club members, all of those 65 though, you want to just know them, understand them, or actually a governor of that whole district has to get you involved with each of the clubs, please?
So as a governor, you get involved with the clubs. As a governor nominee, you're there to get a better understanding of the clubs, their projects that they complete in their local community, the projects they complete around the globe. And it's more a question of how do we as a district better support you? But in addition, it's also a chance for them to get to know you as an incoming governor and understand your background, your philosophies, your vision for the district, and at the same time continue to evolve and create better understanding of Rotary International's mission as a whole.
Under any circumstances that you're supervising their plans or activities?
Oh, no. The clubs are 100% autonomous from the district.
I see.
Our sole purpose is to support their efforts.
I see. All right. To my audiences, I believe lots of you know Rotary International already, like myself, and there are some folks who do not know. And of course, you're talking about obviously generations. This is maybe third or fourth or even more generations of the Rotary International. Can you please give us some kind of briefing about Rotary, just for the audience who first heard of it?
Absolutely. So in 1905, Paul Harris, an attorney, traveled to Chicago, brand new attorney, didn't really know anybody, but knew he wanted to do good in the community. And so he reached out to 3 of his friends, and they met and decided that in order to do good in the world, you needed to be able to help each other, to network, and to build on each other's strengths. And so they did that, and they formed Rotary International. So we're over 100 years old. In my family specifically, my great-grandfather joined Rotary in 1916. So our family history of Rotary is 101 years old. So we've got I'm 4th generation Rotarian in the family.
I see.
And my son Zach was just inducted as the world's first 5th generation Rotarian.
And your great-grandfather was the governor of New Mexico, was that?
He was. He was the 2nd governor of the state of New Mexico.
Oh, all right. Good. And you carry both the legacies of Rotary and also your great-grandfather.
I do, and I think one of the important lessons that came from my great-grandfather was, especially when it came to Rotary, is each generation is required to create a message and continue that legacy of service, but with an overarching message. And my great-grandfather's message was, be worthy to sit at the table of Rotary, not from an exclusivity standpoint, but from a preparedness standpoint. Get educated, master your craft, master your tools, so if called upon to serve, to help the individual sitting next to you or someone in need, not only are you desirous to serve, but you have the ability and capability to serve. And that was his message to the generations.
Now nowadays, are you still recognizing the political circles of New Mexico of your great-grandfather's service?
We do. In fact, DeBaca County is named after my great-grandfather.
Ooh,
and
I see.
So they have a parade once a year that we often go back for, and it's to acknowledge the service he performed in the community, but in recognition of those in need.
So next time you see your great-grandfather, just say hi for me.
There you go. We'll do the parade wave.
All right. My dear friend, today is my moment of rejoice. And it's a friend reunion. For about a year and something, I kind of like she's traveling too much. Luann being the governor nominee for the 5300 district of Rotary International, she is visiting the 65 clubs all over the area, the territory. Well, she's too busy to go into all the details. But anyway, I'm very proud of her. Number 1 for that position. Number 2 for she carries both the legacy of Rotary International and also the great-grandfather who was the former governor of the state of Mexico. So let's take a short moment out. When we come back, I'll pick up the word service. As you see, serve. Service is the core of the whole issue. I will ask her for her kind of a connotation for the term of service or serving. So stay with us, please. Hello, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Xiao on the East-West Show, talking about Rotary International. Joining me is his 53 District Governor nominee, Luann Arredondo, a good friend of mine, a good friend of the whole community, Commissioner of West Covina. She's not far away from us. She is one of us. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jack.
Very good. In addition to your traveling, and also in addition to the job involvement at the commissioner's position, and everything on top of the LABC, on top of your chairwomanship for the women organization, how do you mix them and still find yourself a free woman?
Well, I can tell
That
you.
is so amazing to me. Remember the other day, Oh, there are 26 hours in a day, right? Remember that?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
So I think it's just time management. I think as individuals, when we wake up in the morning, we have a choice to do with the minutes we're given what we would like. And some people at the end of their workday choose to relax and take in the family or watch TV or go for a jog. Everybody has their activities that they like to perform. In my spare time, I like to serve others. And so in that capacity, I find the time to serve with the Women's Club. I'm the current club president for the Women's Club and also the San Gabriel Valley district for the Women's Club. I'm their PR chair. And but it's just time management. I think we serve in lots of ways. When you hear the word service, people think it means volunteerism. But that's not necessarily true. You serve the community in this role here.
Yeah, you're right. And last time I was chatting with a friend of mine, Mr. Jackson Smith. He's also a proud Rotarian. And he kind of mentioned about one of his missions to India for his clear water or something, right? So from that level, on that elevation, can you please let my audience know something about the service that Rotary International has provided so far, please?
So Rotary International is involved in what we call avenues of focus or areas of focus. So we work with water projects because we believe every human being on the planet deserves clean water. When we drink our glass of clean water, we don't see anything. We can see the plastic on the other side or the other side of the glass. We can see the image of the table on the other side. But in parts of the world, there are children that it's dark, it's muddy. It doesn't even look like water. Most of us, if it was even a tint of that, we would send it back to the kitchen. But for others, this is what they drink every day, and it's bacteria infested, it's virus infested. And so in Rotary, our goal is to help provide clean water around the world. It's a large task. There's many organizations that partner with us to do that. We work on projects with women and children. We want to bring education to women in parts of the world, teach them skills and tasks that allow them to barter or trade or create opportunities to provide for their families. We also want, polio is our big project.
Oh, polio, yes.
Huge project, and we really are, you hear the sayings, we're this close. There are a few cases, but in countries that it still exists, there is always the risk of it coming back, and it is a fast-spreading
Last time I checked, it was reported 6 or something.
And it actually grew this year. We're over 50 cases this year again. So now we have to dig in a little bit deeper and make sure that we're still providing those inoculations. And we travel the globe to make sure that we're inoculating children and creating that environment. We have peace and conflict resolution programs, and the goal being to teach that next generation methods in peacekeeping, but at the same time address the peacekeeping efforts that we have here today. I mean, open up the newspaper and how many conflicts do we see on a given day? Hundreds.
Yes.
The news is riddled. Turn the channel to hundreds of stations these days. Every station a report of conflict. So we try to combat peace initiatives. We create those initiatives to create platforms, opportunities for people.
I would like to share a little philosophy with you, with my audience too, right? And of course, this global Earth community needs lots of help, right? And yet there are lots of different ways of helping. Making comments are helping, criticism are helping, right? And re-criticism to criticize the criticizer is also helping, and the re-criticism is also helping. Everybody thinks they are helping by adding words on top of words on top of words. I seldom see, or less. I see less people actually forget the bull. All right, excuse me for that, but forget the thing. Just get hands on say one problem. how about a part of the problem, right? You get a part done, it's done, right? So, how do you comment on that, please?
Well, I think when we think about peace, again,
It bothers me a lot.
It bothers me too from the standpoint of it's really, really easy to talk about wanting peace.
Exactly.
The challenge is really in executing that desire. And it's as simple as every individual waking up and saying, I will have 3 random acts of kindness today. When I am confronted with intolerance or anger, I won't fight back. I will consciously choose to handle it peacefully. And I think if everybody handled it that way, then we could address the bigger issues of peace that exist, the war-torn issues of peace between countries. But it starts with everybody waking up and seeing that you don't have to give dollars, you don't have to participate in peace conferences. You can participate in building peace by simply changing your daily life, creating a more peaceful existence yourself and with the people you come into contact with.
In other words, there are lots of concrete deals, just a little action, right, that will help, right?
Absolutely.
Take polio, for example. It was about the past 10 or 15 years, right, for Rotary to get involved.
We've been involved for many, many years, a couple of decades now. And our efforts, combined with many other organizations, helped us combat the disease. At one point, if you looked at the globe and a red dot represented the number of polio cases, the globe was covered.
Yeah.
Now it's just a few dots.
Last time, remember the previous president of Rotary, Mr. Wang, remember? He showed me a picture, almost red.
Yes.
Almost totally red. That's how big an area polio covers, right?
Oh yeah.
Now it is comes down
Couple
to
of dots.
only 6. That was last year. The reported for only 6 occurrences whatsoever. Now it's getting up a little bit. Right?
Well, it grew a little bit, but because some people are carriers and they don't realize it, and it's easy to spread. The challenge with polio is if you think about what an inoculation costs, 69 cents to inoculate a child. 69 cents. So that's not a whole lot of money. And especially in the United States where we have a higher standard of living. We have our own issues with poverty and issues that we need to address as well. But if every working person donated 69 cents, imagine the dollars that could go towards polio.
I can't really pick up any item that sells below 69.
No.
Oh, stamp.
A stamp.
The post stamp. Right. I was thinking about gum, 99 cents whatsoever.
Even water's $1.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, sure. The coffee you're talking about, even my refill, I do refill, right? Even my refill is 99 cents. It's a brand new cup, it's $2.29, all right, something like that. So 69 cents is really nothing of nothing.
3/4. 3/4.
No, less.
Less than 3/4. But if you gave 3/4, you'd have an inoculation. So it would be nice if and the world can help with this. You can go to Rotary.org and click on donate. Donate $1. $1. Imagine if just the people in California donated $1. That's $27 million.
That's $27 million. Yes. My dear friends, if you are doing a right cause, people will follow, right? And I have no doubt that people will follow the Rotary International, follow that flag. I know that I like that a lot, and that's why I was awarded Governor Heroes for twice.
Yes, you were.
Right?
Yes, you were.
And so I believe that we will all want to do something. But the thing is that instead or in addition to shouting slogans, what else can you do? Right? With my friend Luann Arredondo, we are exactly touching that area. All right. Okay. Stay with us. We'll be right back, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about a bigger subject than regularly we're talking about sexual harassment and so on and so forth. Oh, by the way, now that was kind of like a seasonal, very seasonal. When you come into that season, all of a sudden it comes in uh, 30, 40, 50 women all together accusing the same guy or different guy, whoever. I told my friend that will go, that will go, and then now it went, right? It sure went. So we're talking something so permanent, so important that we really want to make a value out of our life, and we only live once. You want to signify your only chance of living, right? Now, with the Rotary International, they have uplifted the hope of living for better life and to make somebody else also able to live for a better life. Right? Now, from that elevation, Rotary International sees a grander picture of the world. Now you see California, okay, we're okay. We have bread, our croissants, our eggs, our bacon, so on and so forth. And then you live a little higher, well, you see Mexico, and down there, still higher, you see probably South Africa. There are people, well, kids, those are big tummy kids with big eyes and big nipple like that. No.
And belly button.
A belly button like this. Yeah, okay, those are the individuals that you want to help, right? So if my audience want to donate through Rotary, so what website do you recommend?
So I would recommend that everybody visits Rotary.org because that gives a global picture of what Rotary really is. It talks about our areas of focus. It talks about, as an individual, how you can get involved, whether you want to join a club and do some hands-on work in the local environment, because locally we have issues as well here in the United States. Every country has issues. You have the ability to look at projects that maybe you want to help a specific type of project in a specific region of the world. You can do that. But you have the ability to pick and choose where your dollars go.
Rotary.org.
Rotary.org.
Is that the motherboard?
That's the international
international
site.
level.
Yes.
And you have a local level for the district?
We have local
Or
levels.
it's a sub-branch those?
So we have district5300.org, and that gives you an idea of what this district is currently doing.
I see.
Every club has their own website. If you want to look in your city, you can type in Rotary Clubs in, let's say you live in Garden Grove, Rotary Clubs of Garden Grove, and it'll give you a list of all the Rotary Clubs in Garden Grove.
I see.
Rotary Club, West Covina has 2 Rotary Clubs, a Sunrise Club and a Noon Club. Most cities have a Rotary Club, but I would ask the audience to just get involved.
Yeah, exactly. I believe my audience, I believe a majority, maybe a great majority of my audience, they are the kind of my fans. They are uplifting people. They talk about the positive energy, right? They will follow calls, well, as long as you make sense, right? Now, if I'm in West Covina, for example, I want to do something, I want to donate a few dollars or something like that, do I just go ahead to donate the money, or may I, or can I still look around for what's inside West Covina that is worth of a donation?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the key is that with Rotary, you're given so many opportunities to serve, and there's lots of ways to serve. The key is to just engage. So Rotary believes in the balance of our 3 areas. You have to balance family with humanitarianism, with your profession and self-development. So Rotary is about the balance between the 3. When you join a Rotary Club, you're helping with humanitarian efforts, but Rotary also offers professional training, leadership training, so that you can become stronger in your own profession and make you more capable. It has opportunities for families to involve themselves, so we involve families. So it's the balance between the 3. I would say in the West Covina area, and I'm going to put on my commissioner hat now, I would say just engage engage your community the way you would engage your family, and the way you engage your church, the way you engage your profession.
Interesting.
Engage the community. Join any club. And if you don't want to join any club, ask the clubs, reach out, speak to them, talk to them. What projects do you do? And if there's something that touches your heart that you feel like, I like this project, donate to that project.
If somebody say, hey, I have my coming Sunday available, I want to do something, do a volunteer job, I don't actually want to get listed as a member or whatsoever.
Right.
I just happen to have that half day off.
Right.
I want to do some volunteer work. Can I still have a choice of that?
Absolutely. Then I would say for West Covina, you would call City Hall and you would talk with Community Services, and they would put a call out to all the service groups in West Covina. West Covina has 32 service organizations, 32. And a simple email reaches all 32. Anybody doing anything, we have somebody who's interested in volunteerism on this Sunday. And if there might be 3 or 4 that have opportunities to volunteer, and they would reach out to you and say, we've got your information, this is what's available on Sunday to volunteer, here's where you show up, here's the dress code, here's how you can help, are you interested?
I see. Can they do it in the reverse way? I need some help, right?
Absolutely.
And I want to call for some help. Of course, what I have is legit.
Right.
For example, I got a sick baby, and I need a nanny for our daytime being. Of course, I want to pay, right? But within range. I'm not super rich, so. Can they do in a reverse way?
So community services in the city of West Covina won't refer specific paid tasks out, but let's say you're a homeowner and you're a senior, and maybe you've had a hip replacement or some kind of surgery that you're no longer able to get around very well, and your grass is growing, you need to mow the lawn, or your fence needs painting. Call the city. They would reach out to the service groups and say, we have a service opportunity for you, and the Sunrise Rotary Club has been called upon often to go out, paint fences, pull weeds, mow somebody's yard, and so it can work that way in reverse as long as it's service oriented.
In other words, it calls people to help each other.
Yes.
Right? To mobilize them, to help each other, to be service of each other, under the slogan of service.
Yes.
Right. So serving is the key word of the organization of Rotary International. Am I right?
Service above self. So you put others before yourself.
Okay. Now, speaking of relationship between Rotary International for those local club and in between the local club and the commissioner service, public service and senior service,
right?
Are they in kind of collaboration, or they belong to one department, or what's the relationship?
So
structure-wise?
Structurally, the commissioners report to community services, but our service is very different from that of a service group. So a service group has specific projects that they've earmarked through their boards of what they want to address in the city for community-based needs.
I see.
The commissioners work for community and senior services. We work on specific community-based issues and senior-based issues. So I visit the senior center. I talk with seniors in the community. How can I serve you? What can the city do? How can I direct you to resources? A lot of times, individuals in our city don't wake up and say, I'm going to go to the city website right now. They just don't do it. So when you're out talking with them and they have a need, that's your opportunity as a commissioner to say, well, let me help you with this. People come to us for different reasons. I've had individuals talk to me about speeding cars on their street. How do we slow the cars down? And so that would require a traffic study, but we'd have to look at it and make sure that it's really an issue and not just, I want no cars on my street. We have individuals come to us for things as simple as, I need access to hospital resources. So we direct them to the different service providers in our city.
Oh, especially in the term of community slash senior service.
Correct.
Right? There are lots of senior folks that you want to take care of.
Absolutely.
Right? And I see lots of probably I see a little van that carries those grandpas go to supermarket. Was that one of yours or what?
No, we do have service providers in the city that offer dial-a-ride for seniors and other individuals that don't have vehicles to get around to doctor's appointments, their groceries. Maybe they want to go to the mall and shop, but they don't have a vehicle.
Go out for some sunbathing.
So they can dial a ride. So there's lots of services available in the city.
All right.
So that they do work hand in hand in that they both serve the community at large. The commissioners are more engaged with education and edifying the residents on how to access those resources, where to go, who to call. And you can often find us at events, grand openings. They'll usually introduce us so people know who we are and how to reach us.
Excellent. All right, my dear audience, today with my friend Luann Arredondo, we're learning a lot about not only the name of Rotary International, but also the local connections between Rotary International local club and the local community service department of cities or a city. Specifically, we're talking about West Covina, whereby she is a commissioner for community slash senior service. So let's take a very short moment now. Together, we want to see how this Rotary International and the community service people together do something for our kids, especially during holidays. Now is the holiday season, and lots of toy drive, food drive, whatsoever around. Let's see what they do. We will be right back after this short break, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely audience, and welcome back to the show. Today with my friend Luann Arredondo, we're having lots of fun. We're talking about the fact that Rotary International, as the biggest, globally biggest nonprofit organization, how it is helping the rest of the world as far as South Africa, or as close as to right below your eye in West Covina, something like that. In between, I have my friend Luann Arredondo, who is the governor nominee for 2019, July 1, and she is now taking the 3-year term of preparing. We're warming up. She is in the second year, halfway over the second year of her warming up. And talking about the connection between Rotary International as a big name and the local city in conjunction to some projects. My question focuses now this area called children at the holiday season. How about that? So what is the involvement or activities going on now for the kids, please?
So there's several activities that Rotary itself in West Covina. So we have a Sunrise Club and we have a Noon Club. I belong to the Sunrise Rotary Club. And next week on Wednesday, we will be at Payless Shoe Source in the plaza. And we will be putting shoes and socks on 200 kids in the local community. Several of those kids are being rewarded for their good grades. And others are in need because they're living in cars. Their income level does not allow them to have a good pair of shoes. Some come with cardboard in their shoes and holes on the bottom. But we put shoes and socks on 200 local kids in need. We give them a toy for Christmas. They get to meet Santa. We have Santa there. They get to meet Santa. And we get to just talk to them and give them inspiration to continue to focus on school. No matter how tough life is right now, you have a family in Rotary. You can go to any Rotarian and say, I need help. And they will take that as a call to action and help you.
Yeah. In my case, I want help, right? I have some teddy bears in the house nobody plays with around. and well, they grew out of it,
Right.
right? So, and they're still new, still good, some unpack, right? And I'm still there, still new. So, where do I bring them to, or who?
So I would just contact the local Sunrise Rotary Club and say we have toys that we would like to give. They're gently used, and we would go through them to make sure that they're gently used. And we would either donate them to Toys for Tots through the California Highway Patrol. We partner with them at the holidays. We would donate them to the Women's Club, who also works with kids and providing toys at the holidays. We would bring them and possibly utilize them at our Shoes and Socks
Is there a
program in
drop-off
December.
place?
We don't have a drop-off, so it would require going online and reaching out to our club president, Christian Ramos.
I see.
The Noon Club does meal packages for individuals in need, families in need. So there's a lot going on. The community of West Covina is really unique because the 32 organizations have come together unlike in any other city. And we work jointly and collaboratively with the police department, the fire department, City Hall, California Highway Patrol, the sheriff's department, to make sure that during the holiday season, when people are cold, they have warm food, they have a blanket, they have socks. We do a lot with the homeless. There's a lot going on in the holidays to help. Money will go as far as we can push it. But 100% goes to these causes. No money is held back.
If my friends, my audience, check on rotary.com, .org, rotary.org, they will find the local donation issues for toys?
Absolutely. They will go, they won't find it on rotary.org, but they could put West Covina, and then it would identify the two clubs, Sunrise and Noon Club, and they could reach out to either club and call the number provided and coordinate any drop-off.
Yeah, if I call, say today, I have 5 teddy bears, right? And I have a bunch of shoes, good shoes or whatsoever, and they will come over pick up, or they will give me a location to drop them off.
One or the other. Depending on where you are, we would either send a Rotarian out to pick it up.
And how do the shoes and the toys go to the hands of the kids?
So the toys would go during the Shoes and Socks event. Any other time during the year, let's say it's January, and somebody gets a ton of toys and they want to get rid of some of their toys. They can call us in January, we'll pick them up, and we'll donate them to the local foster agencies, the shelters. So kids that are displaced, maybe they're displaced because of fire, maybe they're displaced because of some other reason, that just tough times. We will find a way to take that to them. Or we will take it downtown to the homeless shelter and donate it there.
I see. Or is there, I remember last time, it was year ago, year before, 2 years before, 2 years ago, there was a toy ride of a motorbike, motorcycles, those riders.
That was the youth helpers with the Elks Lodge. So the Elks Lodge also has youth helpers group, and they'll drive around and pick up toys, but they'll go up and down the streets.
Yes.
Anything left out, they'll pick up.
They pick up and they do the...
they review it, clean it up if it needs to be cleaned, identify if it's usable. And if not, then it's disposed of properly. But if it is usable, then they also donate.
That's very good. And from a sense of recycling, there's also saving of resources.
Absolutely.
Am I right? And then there's also an idea of helping, saving of money, and caring for this holiday season.
Absolutely.
And back in during Thanksgiving time, though, you talk about turkey. We talk about turkey all the time. But Christmas meal, is there any?
Christmas meals as well. We work with, the Sunrise Rotary Club works with the shelters to help provide resources for meals. One of the things that we started last year is we connected the grocers to the actual shelters, so that if you go into the store and you see the stamp, best used by, let's say, December 6th, right?
I see.
It'll leave the shelf December 7 because it's past its expiration date. The food itself is not expired.
Yeah, of course.
It's still good food, but they can't afford to leave it there. Instead of disposing of it and having it end up in a landfill, it's now donated to the shelters. So they have their canned goods. They have the food that they can serve their daily meals with. Because at Christmas, everybody wants to go to a shelter and help serve meals.
Yes.
But what they don't realize is those meals are served 365 days of the year, not just at Christmas time.
That's beautiful. Yes,
So
yes.
Sunrise Rotary focuses on how do we get the connection between resources. Because we can't serve 365 days of the year food. But if we can create the platform for the food to get to the shelter, so the individuals at the shelter can do their job throughout the year without worrying about not
Get
having
the message
enough.
out, give them
That's
one
it.
location, put a few workers there, a permanent job, and they will bring all these off-shelf,
Right.
expired, well, not expired, quote unquote,
It just
labeling.
can no longer be there.
No longer be there, food there, well,
No waste.
no waste.
It
No waste.
prevents the waste. So that's some of the things Sunrise is involved in. But the other thing Sunrise helped with several years ago, in late 2012, we helped form the founding members of the community group. So it's a platform that brings all service clubs together to sit at the table and talk about, this is what we're doing. So instead of operating in a silo, we now work together collaboratively for the benefit of West Covina.
Very good. I'm really convinced. So Rotary International is not only a big name, it's a lot of big Ds. Actually, is helping the community in collaboration with the local organizations or local city departments, such as West Covina City Department of Commissioner's Office of Community Service and Senior Service, including Children's Service, including the holiday season for toy drive or food drive, or shoes or socks or stuff like that. I see the society, the whole community is motivated for resources of sharing or reuse, either for the purpose of saving or for the purpose of helping. So positive. I love you guys, right? And my dear audience, we're a little over time, but we're doing good so far. Thank you for watching and thank you for sharing. And to my friend Luann Arredondo, I'm proud of you, and not only as the incoming governor nominee, but also as a commissioner of West Covina that helps the people a lot.
Thank you.
Right? Thank you.
Thank you.